You know all those incredible new AI tools we're using every day? Well, what if they have a hidden cost? A really provocative analysis from philstockworld.com suggests there's a direct line from this AI boom right to your soaring electric bill. So let's dive into their argument.
I mean, it's a question a lot of us are asking, right? You open the mail, you look at the bill, and that number just seems to keep climbing month after month. The source we're looking at today says this isn't just random inflation. Nope. They argue it's a symptom of something much, much bigger happening just behind the curtain.
Get a load of this number, 267%. That is the 5-year surge in wholesale electricity prices, what utilities actually pay for power, in some key areas. That's according to the source. It's an absolutely staggering jump. So what on earth is driving it? Okay, to figure that out, let's start with the most obvious clue, the symptom, that soaring power bill. This is the first piece of the puzzle, and what's interesting is it's not happening everywhere equally. The analysis points to a really compelling pattern. The biggest price hikes, they're happening near major data center hubs. Just look at Buffalo with a 197% increase, or Baltimore at 125%. The source argues this is absolutely no coincidence. They say it's a direct link between the tech boom and the financial pain people are feeling in those areas. So, if data centers are the where, then what's the what? What's the cause? Well, the source points the finger directly at the massive, almost unbelievable energy demands of the AI revolution. And here it is, the core of the problem all in one comparison. The analysis claims a single ChatGPT query uses nearly 10 times more energy than a simple Google search. Now, just think about that, and then multiply it by the billions of queries happening every single day. That's where this energy demand really starts to go off the charts. And the scale of this is just mind-boggling. The source estimates a daily electric bill of $100 million. That's per day, just for ChatGPT queries. Annually, that's over $36 billion. To put that into perspective for you, that is enough energy to power almost 22 million American homes for a year. It's huge. For years, all we've heard about is the massive energy footprint of Bitcoin mining, right? Well, this analysis projects that by 2027, AI's energy consumption will actually blow past it. It is on a trajectory to become the single biggest energy hog in the entire digital world. So, okay, if AI is the culprit, what's the motive for putting these things in our backyards? Well, the source argues it's a very deliberate corporate strategy, and they call it the location scam. The central idea here is a classic business playbook move, socializing the costs. The argument is that by building these power-hungry data centers near cities, tech companies can push the multi-billion-dollar cost of upgrading the local power grid onto the public, meaning every single person who pays a utility bill, instead of footing the bill for their own infrastructure. And this quote from the source really just captures the raw frustration behind their argument. Why not build these massive facilities out in remote areas with their own dedicated power sources? The analysis contends it's simply cheaper for the companies to make everybody else pay for it. This brings us to what the source calls the collateral damage. Because according to them, this isn't just about our wallets anymore. It's about a huge systemic risk to our entire national power grid. $5 trillion. According to a Deloitte study cited in the source, that's what's needed to stabilize our grid as it is right now by 2030. That's the baseline. That's before we even think about adding the massive new demand from AI. Now, let's look at what we're piling on top of that already fragile system. The source projects 117 gigawatts of new demand by 2030. And look at this. The lion's share of that, a whopping 87 gigawatts, is expected to come from data centers alone. And according to this analysis, this is putting us on an accelerated timeline toward a potential disaster. They cite grid operators who are already warning of shortfalls, and they forecast that without some kind of massive intervention, rolling blackouts could become inevitable in just a few years. And the damage isn't just about large-scale blackouts. The source describes this really strange physical phenomenon called bad harmonics. It's basically electrical interference from data centers that can travel into nearby homes, and they claim it can cause appliances to rattle, to overheat, and even create fire risks. It's a direct link from the digital cloud straight into your kitchen. Okay, so let's put all these pieces together. The source's final verdict is that this entire situation basically amounts to a hidden tax on every single one of us. And this is their entire thesis in a nutshell. It's a simple phrase: privatize the profits from AI, but socialize the massive infrastructure costs that are required to run it. The analysis claims this wealth transfer works in 4 easy steps. 1. A tech company builds a power-hungry data center. 2. The local utility is forced to make huge, expensive upgrades. 3. That cost gets spread across every customer's bill. And 4. The AI company avoids the expense and just boosts its profits. And what does that actually mean for you? Well, the analysis quantifies the impact. It's an average annual electricity bill increase of $300 to $600 for people who live in these data center regions. The source argues that's a direct subsidy from your pocket to big tech's bottom line. And the source concludes with this really powerful statement, arguing that from their perspective, the AI boom isn't some magical creation of new wealth. No, instead, it's a redistribution of wealth, from working families to tech billionaires. And that really leaves us with a final, crucial question to think about. The pace of this technological change is just breathtaking. But this analysis forces us to consider the hidden costs. It asks us all to think about who pays for progress and whether that's a price we're actually willing to accept.